And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 6 of Osborne Motors Endurance Challenge, where we are just getting qualifying underway for 90 minutes of Road America. We got 30 minutes of open qualifying. We've been through about 10 now. We've got about 5 people who have put up some times on the board, and we're going to be seeing what everyone else can do in the next 20 minutes. We're back. We missed broadcasting last week, the 2 sprint races, but there was some shake-up in the points. But we're back for another endurance race, and that means 90 minutes endurance racing. We have a new rule tonight. There will only be one allotted tire change. I think that might have been a rule at Laguna Seca, but nevertheless, it is a rule here. One allotted tire change. The car's going to have 50% fuel, so only half tank of fuel in those cars. Will most likely be a 3-stop race tonight, unless you're really good at fuel saving, but I don't know who's that good at fuel saving. We might have some new faces in the grid tonight. I was hearing some chatter in the Discord. Might have some new competition showing up this evening, so we'll keep an eye out on that. And we're going to have some good racing for you. We're going to let this run here on qualifying. I'm going to get a few more things set up, and I will be right back with you. All right, looks like we got about 12 minutes of qualifying left, and we have 12 times up on the board tonight. Let's see if we can find anyone out on track. There is our current pole position holder, Landon Orr, with a top time of 2:07.8. That puts him a whole 10th above Tyler Langenberg in the Ford. You gotta give props to this man. He's still driving the Ford. It looks like he's gonna drive it that whole season, and you love to see it. The only one out there giving it the best he can do and throwing it up there in second with a 2:07.9. Behind him, looks like he's not currently out on track right now, but we have a newcomer to the league, Cole Moose, in the BMW, out there putting up third place, 2:08.2. Excited to see what he can do in the rest of the race. P4, Devin Adams. Let's get back to him. Devin Adams had kind of a varied season so far. Had a couple races where a little bit of crashes, a couple races where he did good. Looking to have a good showing out here tonight, and he is showing that. He's in P4 with a 2:08.6, not looking too bad. Right behind him, we have our second OMEC driver of the night, Nate Sides, in that Team Rahal Porsche. Currently sitting in P5 with a 2:08.6. Not too far off the back of Adams. Bob Lindell, third OMEC driver on the track tonight. Currently out on track, still sitting in the pits. Not sure what's going on. Maybe he feels like he's already put up fast enough time. I guess we'll find out. But he's sitting there in P6 with a 2:09.1. Behind him in P7, another newcomer to the league. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, bud. You can tell me later, but this is Moshe Abramov. Moshe Abramov. Probably a pretty cool name, so I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but he's sitting in P7 with a 2:09.4. Hasn't raced with us this year, but we're going to see what he's got on the track tonight. And another newcomer as well, sitting in P8, Richard Ellinger. Sitting out there with a 2:09.5. Another Team Porsche guy I see. I think the Porsche's pretty quick on this track. I think I spy that windshield banner might be from an old league I raced in, Pony Express Sim Racing. If we get an interview with him later, we'll see if that's where he came from. But in P9, we have John Kelly in the Ninja Botanicals Porsche. Most certainly is going to be looking for a better result tonight. He is probably going to be looking to keep it clean. I think he got into some incidents at Laguna Seca. I wasn't around for last week with the sprint races, so we'll see what he's looking like tonight. Down in P10, another OMEC driver, Patrick Cantrell in the OMEC Porsche, sitting with a 2:09.9, which is almost, it is a full 2.1 seconds off of his teammate Landon Orr in that Ferrari. So he's definitely got some time to make up. Hopefully he can get some fuels, get some of that. Well, hopefully he already has some of that fuel burned down in these 30 minutes and he's able to hop in for some new tires. But if he keeps taking corners like that, I don't know if we're going to see him get there tonight. Number 11, another new person. We got a lot of new people showing up to the league tonight. I'm loving it. Mr. Pierce Sunderup in that pretty cool looking blue and white Ferrari. I don't know what Zin is, but it's a cool looking livery and I'm all for it. He's sitting down there in P11 with a 2:10.4. This might be a pretty tricky track for him. Who knows? What this track is a track with 0% track usage, and that's a pretty slippery, dusty track that's not worn in yet. This race also takes place in the afternoon, around 1 or 2 o'clock. So the track temps are going to be very hot, and the track is going to be very dusty, very loose. It's going to take a while for it to rubber in. So the track they're racing on now is probably going to be a much different surface than what they're racing on at the end of the race. So there's all sorts of room for improvement. He's sitting P11 right now, but we'll keep an eye on him and see if he can make up anything at the end of the race. And again, they're just coming in droves. P12, another new person to the league, Derek Forte. sitting down there in B12, only a 10th off of Sunderup. We might have a good midfield battle with these two guys. We'll see if they can keep it together, keep it clean. Endurance racing, not always about lap time. Sometimes it's more about just keeping it clean. So we'll see what he can do tonight. And bringing up the rear, our hometown favorite, Nick Tyrrell. Not out on the track yet, hasn't set a lap yet, but he's the man that shows up in that black Lamborghini. And maybe he's just starting from the back looking for a challenge. I don't know. We'll see what he can do. About 6 minutes of qualifying left, and then we will be ready to start 90 minutes of endurance racing. There will be a random caution sometime tonight. That is there is a timer that starts when the race starts, goes till the end of the race, that will tell me when to throw a random caution sometime in this race. It could be for an animal on the track, could be for a sinkhole opening it up, it could be for a car crash. We don't know, but that's something to look out for. So that's something the drivers will have in the back of their head when thinking about their tire strategy, their fuel strategy, really timing when that safety car is going to be out. Especially if they get into some kind of unfortunate crash or something earlier on, it may be a way to get them back in the race, because it's going to get cars bunched up. It's going to get you some almost free, not quite, but pretty much free pit stops. And that could be your chance to get back in when you're having a bad time. Man, you know, I took a week off broadcasting because I had some stuff to take care of. And that has left me pretty rusty. That was a pretty big, I don't know, pause of dead air while my brain didn't work. Well, I was getting some of my stuff together, so I apologize for that. But let's take a look at the track we're racing on tonight. This is Road America. This is a 4-mile track. Lots of straights. And the thing with this track is you need a very good exit. If you don't have a good corner exit, you're going to lose a ton of time on those straights. So this track is about nailing every single corner and every corner exit to get the max speed you can on those straights before you get on the brakes hard at the end of them. It's a very tricky track. We can go on board here with Landon Orr, and we can take a look at it. He's coming around turn 2 here onto this back straight. I should know the name of it. I will pull that up. But here's cockpit view. Coming down that back street under the cheese sign. It's always a staple. Come down here to turn 3, I believe. It's a very sharp left-hander. You're in top speed, you're in 6th gear. You're going to get on the brakes all the way down to 2nd gear. And again, you want to get that exit perfect. You want to use all the track. You're going to come up here to this left-hand corner. It's a blind corner. You're going to start braking, and you got to turn in before you can even see the apex. Again, run it out, and then this right-hander sounds like could be flat out once the track rubber's in, but definitely is not flat out right there. He had to lift for that quite a bit. Brake here at the number 2 sign. Another fairly simple 90-degree left turn, but you want to nail that exit because you're going to come up here to the carousel. And the carousel is all about managing tires or going fast, I think. You want to go really fast through here, you might eat up the tires. It puts a lot of pressure on that left front. It really heats it up, and you don't really want that hot when you come down here to the kink, which is a fast, sometimes flat-out right-hander. It might not be now the track is, you know, not quite warmed up, not quite ready to go, but once that track gets rubbered in, that might be a flat-out left-hander. So you got the carousel left hand, that flat-out left-hander, and now coming into Canada Corner, you got another pretty hard left-hander. Second gear, you want to use the whole exit. That front left tire is screaming for help. It is hot as hell, and it doesn't have a lot of grip. You come around through there, and you're at the last corner. Again, super important to have a good exit here. Get the curbing just right, run it out as wide as possible, and you're on the main front stretch, which we would see if he wasn't coming in for the pits, but here's the pit entry. Isn't that cool? This is just as cool as screaming down the front straight in 6th gear. Why not see a pit stop? Is Landon coming in to put on a fresh set of tires to get one more lap in? I don't know. We only got a minute left to qualifying. We'll see if this is just a practice run for him, or we'll see if he's actually coming in, get a fresh set of tires, and run out there for one more flying lap. Although I don't think he'll have time to do that with only 40 seconds left in qualifying. It looks like he's going to try. We'll see. He does have to keep Tyler Langenberg behind him, who's currently out there on the Ford, who is only a 10th behind Landon Orr, so probably looking to beat him on this lap here. We can get a look in the Ford, and again, coming down the cheese sign, coming under cheese sign. You know, I'll look up what the real name of that straight is, but right now I'm going to call it cheese sign straight because I think that's a pretty good name. Pull up a map so I can be more educated. Under the Corvette Bridge for this tricky. This is one of the trickiest left-hand corners in any track ever, I swear. That straight there was called the Hurry Downs into turn 8, and then turn 9 is the start of the carousel. Again, you're really managing that front left tire right here. It's really going to be screaming for help. It's going to be hot, and you want to be back on the gas by the time you hit those inner curbs. And again, run it as wide as possible, but don't hit that grass. Then you're going to come through turn 11 here, which is the kink. It sounds like to me that was almost flat out. He barely lifted through there. And he's on track for a purple sector, so I think he was hauling through there. This is Canada Corner, turn 12, and then you're going to come up here through turn 13. Again, flat out if the track is good, but it really takes some bravery and some commitment because it's a blind corner and you can't see it. And now he's going to line up turn 14, the final corner, to get on the final straight. That's 2 purple sectors. We're going to see if he can come across the line and take pole position away from Landon Orr. There's the flag man waving the flag, and does he do it? He does. He takes pole position with a 2:07.45, a whole 0.4 of a second faster, and sends it into the wall for celebration. But that's that new iRacing gravel for you. Stops him before he even gets to the wall. Amazing. What a beautiful lap. Tyler Langenberg taking pole position. It looks like we still have Richard Ellinger out there trying to put in the time. He's just coming up the start-finish straight right now. He's currently in P10 with a 209.3. Can he improve? He does. He improves up to P9, beating out OMEC team driver Bob Lindell, who is sitting in 10th place and might have a conversation with team owner Marcus Osborne after this race about his performance, but we'll see. We do have Nick Tyrrell out there. He's looking to set a time, ladies and gentlemen. He's the last one out on the track. Here he is, coming up the final straight. We're going to see if that nondescript, sponsorless black matte Lamborghini can put in a time. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the line. And he doesn't. He doesn't put in a time. He's starting dead last, but oh man, Nick Terrell likes a challenge, so we'll see. And with that, that is the end of qualifying. Let's go through your grid. First place, taken away by 3.5 tenths of a second, Tyler Langenberg in that 4 GT. Followed closely behind him, Landon Orr in the Ferrari in second place. Third place, newcomer Cole Moose in the BMW. Looking to put on a good show from New York here tonight. We're going to see what he can do. Fourth place, OMEC driver Nate Sides. I should also mention Landon Orr is OMEC driver. I don't think I've said that enough tonight, but he is. Top placing OMEC driver, Landon Orr, P2. And then second, OMEC teammate, P4, Nate Sides in the Team Rahal Porsche. My brain's losing it. Sorry, folks. P5, another newcomer, Moshe Abramev, sitting there in P5. That's a good showing. Devin Adams sitting in P6 in that Mercedes. Another OMEC driver looking to make some good places tonight. P7, another newcomer to the league, Pierce Sunderup, sitting there in P7. OMEC teammate Patrick Cantrell sitting in P8 in that Porsche. Down in P9, we have Richard Ellinger, another newcomer to the league, looking to make a name for himself. P10, the lowest racing, OMEC sim racer. Is that harsh? I don't know. Hopefully he's okay. Send down there in P10. B11, John Kelly in that Ninja Botanicals Porsche. His teammate, why can't I remember his name? I know his name. I've said it so many times. I'm the worst broadcaster in the history of broadcasters. His teammate, Jeff McDonald, is not here tonight. So John Kelly's probably going to be looking to make us some points. And then bringing up the rear, we have Derek Forte in 12th place. 12-car grid tonight here. The pace car is off. And we are getting ready to start 90 minutes of racing here at Road Atlanta. Not Road Atlanta. Road America. Oh, boy. And there's the pace car into the pits. We should probably get that grid info off the screen. There we go. Nope, I don't want that either. I want this one. And we're getting ready for the green lights. And there they go. Everyone is off. Landon Orr and Tyler Langenberg neck and neck. Drag race down the front straight. Looks like the Ford has got a little bit of an edge on the inside. Everyone's staying bunched up close behind him. Nick Tiro making some moves in the back. Landon Orr squeezes Tyler Langenberg on the inside, but Tyler Langenberg is going to make him take the long way around. Going to keep the inside line. Everyone's still too wide. Coming down to the second turn. That's some good stuff, but it looks like Tyler Langenberg might eke out just a tiny bit of lead there. Turn 2. Everyone's keeping it clean, and we have a drag race. Ferrari v Ford going down the main straight. Who has the best top speed? We're going to find out. That is beautiful. OMEC versus Tyler Langenberg. Landon Orr's got the inside line, but Tyler Langenberg gets on the brakes just way later than Landon Orr. Takes it on the outside, and he is going to secure his first place for that first lap. Beautifully done. Landon Orr in second place behind him. Newcomer Cole Moose securing P3. No one off the track yet. No wrecks. Wonderful start. Everyone's keeping it clean. We got Cole Moose P3. We got Nate Sides P4 in that Team Rahal Porsche. And it looks like we got people making moves. Pierce Sunderup trying to make a move on Richard Ellinger. Oh, Richard Ellinger trying to make a move on Pierce Sunderup. Looks like he was centered on the inside there. But they're coming around the carousel. He's going to probably try to stay tucked behind here. Maybe make a move. Coming out of the kink. We'll see. Ooh, goes wide. Coming out of the kink. Gets it on the grass. Almost loses it. That gives Patrick Cantrell behind him the room. He's got the run. He's going to send it up the outside, and he's going to make it stick. Richard Ellinger is going to make him take the long way around, but he is there. 2x2 through Canada corner. Coming up, turn 13. Doesn't quite have the legs to get it done. Richard Ellinger gets around him, and Patrick Cantrell is back there to battle with Bob Lindell. That was pretty exciting. In the front, we still have Tyler Langenberg and Landon Orr battling it out. Looks like Devin Adams going to make a pass on Nate Sides. He gets it done. Can he make the pass stick? He's going to set it on the inside through turn 1. Keeps Nate Side on the outside. Nate Side tucks in behind him, and Devin Adams gets that pass done, and he is sitting in a podium. Looks like we had Landon Orr go off track. We'll see what happened. Oh no, loses it on the inside. Oh, into the tires. Landon Orr. No. Tragedy has struck again, and that Ferrari does not look happy. It looks like that's doglegging pretty bad. That is terrible. Well, horrible luck for Landon Orr. You hate to see it. We do have one fast repair in this league, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully he can take that fast repair and hope the safety car works out for him, and hopefully he can get back up there in front. This is Laguna Seca all over again. Except Tyler Langberg hasn't crashed yet, but we'll see. You never know. Looks like we had a pass on Bob Lindell by Patrick Cantrell. Was that anything? Oh, setting it too wide there. Ooh, it looks like they got a little close. Bob kind of backed out of it, giving Patrick the lead. Back up front, through all the shenanigans, Devin Adams has held P3. He's going to be looking to keep that tonight. He's going to be looking for a podium. He needs some redemption after the past weeks. Let me tell you what. Cole Moose still holding in second. Ooh, Devin Adams off on the grass behind him, and that's going to give Nate Sides a jump to get in front of him, and he does. He makes the pass, makes the stick through turn 13, up over the curbing. Can he make a good one through turn 14 onto the straight? He does. He makes the stick, and he gets around Devin Adams. Beautiful. Beautiful racing. Devin Adams tucking in the draft. He's sticking his nose on the inside. He's going to show his nose. He's going to send it on the inside. Turn 1 is Nate Sides going to fight him for it. Is he going to let him have it? They go in too wide through turn 1. Gets squeezed tight. Whew, Nate Sides on the grass a little bit. They're still too wide. They got too wide behind him. Coming through turn 2. Oh, no. He turns in. And looks like Sunderup and Ellinger are caught up in that. It looks like Nate Sides turned in on him and didn't give him quite enough room. Let's take a look at that. Here they are, coming up to turn 2. You got Ellinger and Sunderup behind him. Nate Sides and Devin Adams are going to have those two in their mirrors, and they're going to be trying to give each other space and also looking at the cars behind them. You got a lot to process, and then as you're processing all that, you still got to make it through the corner. And it looks like Nate Sides turns in. Might not give enough room. Ooh. There's going to be some words about that one, ladies and gentlemen. Ellinger and Sunderup get caught up in it. Looks like Ellinger taps. They both tapped Devin a little bit. Hopefully they got out of it without too much damage. It looks like Patrick Cantrell got caught up in it too and takes that front bumper off of Devin Adams, and Bob squeaking by. And then you got Nick Terrell in the Lamborghini. What a mess. What a mess, ladies and gentlemen. Two front runners taking each other out. And this is why it's not all about lap times. It's about keeping it safe. It's about knowing when to battle. It's about knowing when to back out. Nate Sides got out of that pretty lucky. He spun and lost some time, but it doesn't look like he has too much damage. But Devin Adams missing a front bumper. You know, last race we had some people missing a front bumper, but they didn't know it until after the race when they watched the broadcast. They're like, oh, that's why the car was driving like shit, 'cause they didn't have a front bumper, huh? That'll do it. Looks like we have Richard Ellinger passing Pierce Sunderup for P3. Let's take a look. Looks like Sunderup just went off the gravel there in Canada Corner. And Ellinger is going to take that. He's going to say, yep, thank you. I will take P3. And looks like we have a newcomer taking podium tonight. Beautiful. Up front, walking away from everyone, we got Tyler Langenberg. We're still in the replay. I'm going to be doing that all night. Beautiful. There's Devin Adams without a hood. Up front, there's Tyler Langenberg keeping it clean, keeping himself out of trouble. He's 3.4 seconds ahead of P2. Mr. Cole Moose behind him. And he's going to be looking to keep a clean race. Think about Tyler Langenberg. If he doesn't crash in the beginning and he's able to keep it clean, he might just walk away from the field. I've seen it happen in the past, and I will not be surprised if it doesn't happen again. Cole Moose behind him, who also has 4 seconds behind P3. I would imagine he's just sitting here running his race, trying to keep it clean, taking care of the tires. Just going to take it home. Podium. P3, Richard Ellinger, still has the Ferrari of Pierce Sunder up right on the back of him, and another two OMAC Porsches behind him, looking to make a move. Patrick Cantrell sitting back there in 5th place, up 3 spots from his qualifying position. It looks like we had a little battle between John Kelly and Derek Forte at the back. Let's take a look at that. John Kelly coming up the back of Derek Forte, taking him on the inside there of that turn right before the carousel. Looks like they're both coming in the carousel. It says there's another pass here. We'll see what happens. John Kelly taking the outside line. Derek Forte kind of taking the inside, coming through this carousel. We'll see if he can get the run coming up to the kink. That BMW's right all over the back of that Ninja Botanicals Porsche. Coming through the kink, screaming through. Takes it on the grass, but it looks like he's still able to carry a lot of speed. Still right on the back bumper of John Kelly. See if he can make a pass into Canada corner. Hard on the brakes. Doesn't look like he gets it done. John Kelly keeps it tidy through Canada corner. It looks like he's going to stay ahead all the way up to the front. Looks like we got Pierce Sunder up off the track. We'll see what happens. Ooh, Patrick Cantrell and Pierce Sunder up side by side to the last corner. And that just made him lose a ton of time. Everyone's just driving around him. Luckily, he kept it out of the grass. Kept it out of the wall. No damage, but that's going to ruin his late. It's going to ruin his race. Let's go back to the live action. Richard Ellinger made his way up to 3rd place. Patrick Cantrell behind him in P4. And behind him, Bob Lindell holding in there, top 5. Up 5 places from qualifying. But he's got Nick Tyrrell in that Lamborghini making his way through the field. He's going to have some trouble when he comes up, has to pass him. And he also has Nate Sides behind him in that Team Rahal Porsche. Looks like we had Devin Adams enter the pits. We'll see if he takes that fast repair. I imagine he does. He's in fast repair, tires, and fuel. I don't know if he forgot to untick the box that said take tires, but ladies and gentlemen, you only get 1 tire change in this race. That's going to be rough. We've only been racing for 10 minutes. He has to make those tires last 80 minutes. 80 minutes on 1 set of tires. GT3 tires don't want to go 80 minutes on 1 set of tires, so we'll see what happens to Devin Adams there. That's going to be interesting. Meanwhile, there is a fierce battle here between Nick Tyrrell, Nate Sides, and Moshe Abramov. Nick Tyrrell weaving, trying to break the draft, but Nate Sides is not going anywhere. He's sticking right on that bumper, and he's got Moshe Abramov right behind him. Nate Sides sticks his nose on the outside, tries to make a move in turn 1, but Nick Tyrrell's super late on the brakes, and they both go wide, clipping the dirt. Nick Tyrrell's going to take that defensive line into turn 2. Nate Sides going to try to take the correct line and maybe get a run on him coming down the straight here under the cheese sign. It's a drag race. You got Nate Sides looking to get that draft, looking to get a pass made. Into turn 5. This is turn 4. It doesn't look like it, but that's turn 4 of the Moraine sweep. And we're coming down to turn 5, the sharp left-hander. Again, Nick Tyrrell taking the defensive line. And Nate Sides trying to go around the outside. He absolutely sends it through. I don't know if there was contact there, but Nick Tyrrell's Porsche gets loose coming through. It didn't look like there's any contact to me. I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's pause this. Let's get in a better view. Bear with me. You know, a real broadcaster would have all of this figured out, but I'm not a real broadcaster. I'm as fake as I am a racing driver. So let's go through here in slow motion. Nate Sides sent it up the outside of Nick Tyrrell. No, Nick Tyrrell just locks up the rears a little bit. Tokyo Drifter on that corner, but luckily does not take out Nate's sides. That looked like it was on the edge for both of them. They got the back end wagging around through that whole corner. I'm surprised they made that pass as clean as they did. That looked beautiful. What a great pass by Nate's sides. Nick Tyrrell may be a little shooken up after that because he's got Pierce Sunderup in that Ferrari going around him like he's standing still. Or that's Moshi. Is that Moshi or Nick? Let's see what this replay is. Oh, that's Moshi getting around him there. And that's Pierce Sunderup in the blue Ferrari. I don't quite know what happened there. He might be a little shook up. Nick Tyrrell now has John Kelly in the Ninja Botanicals Porsche behind him. Can he keep him behind him in turn one? Looks like he can. Might be trying to make a move to get around Pierce in that Ferrari, which looks like it does have a pretty tangled up rear spoiler there, and I think that's probably going to hurt his top speed a little bit on the straights and the corners. Looks like he goes wide. That lets Nick Tyrrell get around him, and that gives John Kelly just the edge he needs to sneak up in there. Looks like he's also going to get a pass done. They're bumping a little bit, bumping some doors, bumping some fenders, going down through the Maureen straight, coming into turn 5. Looks like he does just get ahead of him. Is he going to try to send it up the inside of Nick Tyrrell hard on the brakes? Nick Tyrrell's going to close that door and say, no, thank you, not today. Clip the gravel a little bit on the way out, but they're going to come up to turn 5. This blind left-hander, it's a tricky one, and it's even trickier when you got a Porsche on your inside door looking to make a move. Coming down here through turn 7 into the hurry downs, which is what this straight is called. Hurry downs into turn 8, this left-hander. John Kelly looking to make a move. He sticks his nose in the inside. Nick Tyrrell runs wide, and you got Pierce all up on him behind him. Coming through the carousel, we'll see who can make the best line to get a good exit here in turn 10. Up to turn 11, the kink. Is John Kelly going to show his nose? If John Kelly's smart, I was going to say he'll tuck in behind him. You can't really get a pass done on the kink. It's pretty sketchy. Oh, no, a contact between John Kelly and Pierce Sunderup on that Ferrari. Just when I was saying you shouldn't make a pass at the kink, there it is, and that is why you should not do that. Oh no. Let's go on board here. On board with John Kelly. Let's go on board with Pierce. Does he try to send it up the inside on the kink? Looks like John was going through there pretty slow, and Pierce just got in the back of him. I don't know if he wasn't expecting John to be going that slow, but let's see if he even got on the brakes. Again, he just drove right in the back of him. I mean, that's a flat-out corner sometimes if it's right, but if you see the person in front of you braking, that doesn't mean you can just keep her to the floor, you know? We'll take a... Oh, that's not what we want. That's not what we want at all. Take a look here. He brakes a little bit, waiting for him. Looks like John's got to get on the brakes hard. It does look like Pierce tries to get on the brake and stop him, and that's just real unfortunate. That is going to be almost a race-ending crash for John Kelly. That is unfortunate, just as he was looking to make a pass on Nick Tyrrell. But there's a fast repair, ladies and gentlemen. There's a fast repair. There's a safety car. There's a chance to still be back in the race. Looks like we've still had some more action. We got Nate Sides who went around Bob Lindell. Did he drag Moshi along with him? He's coming under the cheese sign through the Moraine sweep. Coming into turn 5 on that left-hander. Bob's got the inside line, but Nick Tyrrell has got the confidence. Sent it on the outside and absolutely closed that door on Bob Lindell. Clipped that gravel on the way out, and he is gone. See ya. Let's see Landon Orr's pass on Richard Ellinger. Oh, that was just him in the pits. That wasn't quite as cinematic as I was hoping, but you live and you learn. Looks like John Kelly's in the pits. Does he take tires? Or does he just take a fast repair? Just a fast repair and some fuel for John Kelly. Not taking the tires, which I think is the smart decision. So we still got 70 minutes of racing left. You definitely don't want to be taking tires. But let's get back to the live race. After all of those shenanigans, Nick Terrell in 7th place, but he's got he's got Derek Forte looking to make up some time behind him. And in front, Bob Lindell looks like he did let Nate Sides and Moshi get around him. Bob's probably just saving tires, though. We'll see. Yeah, this is the race where you either get caught up in battles or you save tires, save fuel, and have a faster race at the end. Moshi's doing pretty good for his first showing out here. He's right where he qualified P5, sitting P5. He's trying to hang in there with Nate Sides, picking up some freebies when he can, sticking on his bumper, but it looks like Nate Side is just starting to pull a little bit of a gap out there, but Moshi just keeps his head down, stays out of trouble. He's looking a very possible top 5. I mean, he's already there. Hopefully he can keep it. Nate Sides had that run-in with Devin Adams earlier in the race, got away with no damage, and was able to keep trucking, and has made his way all the way back up to P5. Some beautiful racing by Nate Sides. Patrick Cantrell, again, this is his specialty. Qualifies back at the grid, slowly makes his way up to the front just by keeping it clean. He is 5 places ahead of where he qualified. Qualified P9. Now sitting looking at a podium. If he can get his pit strategy correct, if he can keep on keeping it safe, we'll see. Safety above all. P2, Cole Moose. Still having a pretty uneventful race. Only one incident. Just one little off track there, but other than that, he is just keeping it a good race. We do have a safety bonus tonight because it is the endurance race. So anyone under 8x or less does get a bonus point if you're within 1 lap of the leader, which I'm sure he will be. And speaking of our leader, Tyler Langneberg has just been walking away from everyone. He is the Max Verstappen in the Red Bull of Osborne Motors Endurance Challenge. He is 6.6 seconds ahead of P2, and that gap is rising. 0 incidents. Not quite fastest lap. Landon Orr still holds the fastest lap, but beautiful. That's about 20 minutes in. We got 70 minutes of racing left. Don't go anywhere. I am going to leave for a quick break just for a few moments, and I will be right back with you for more racing action. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we're back from that quick break. And we're back. Looks like Ellinger is out of the race. Let's take a look and see if we can find out what happened. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Richard Ellinger went off the track. Let's take a look. Coming around the kink in that Porsche, and there's the back end. Loses it into the wall. That's going to be an unfortunate end for Rick Ellinger. I think he might have already used his fast repair, so I think that's going to be a race end for him. He's out, unfortunately. That happens. The Porsche, it'll bite you. Here's Sunder up past Derek Forte. Oh, Derek Forte just got loose. Oh no. Derek Forte took a break at the wrong time. Coming through turn 1, I have crashed here in this exact spot. You nicked that gravel. I also crashed here in a BMW. It just gets the tank slapper and right there into the wall. I don't think Nick Forte had used a fast repair yet. It does look like he is still on the race, but that is probably going to meatball him. Yeah, it doesn't look like that car is driving correctly at all. That's really unfortunate. Cole Moose entered the pit lane. Was this his first pit stop of the night? He's the only one that pitted. And I can't see anything that happened to him. Maybe he's just trying to pit early. Not sure. We got Bob Lindell going off track. Let's see what happened. And the turn leading up to the carousel. There goes the Porsche. That big fat butt of an engine swings around like a pendulum. There's not much you can do to stop it. And he's back on track. Looks like that's about all the action, but that has definitely switched things up a little bit. Let's go back live. It does look like Richard Ellinger is out of the race. He is not back on track, unfortunately. Well, we still have our leader, Tyler Langenberg, a whole 11 seconds behind Patrick Cantrell because of Moose's accident there. That goes to show you. That's why I always say lap times don't matter. It's all about running a, safe, consistent race, which our man Tyler Langenberg has done. You see, he doesn't have the fastest lap, but what he does have is 0 incidents. And 11 seconds behind him, sitting in P2, the man of the hour, Patrick Cantrell, king of taking it safe. He's up there in P2. Pierce Sunder up, enter pit lane. This might just be for a pit stop. Or he had a little bit too much damage. Not sure. Let's go back live. But we got Patrick Cantrell in second place. Nate Sides, again, made his way all the way back up to third. Got knocked down to last, but here he is, P3, hunting down Patrick Cantrell. He's only 3.2 seconds behind, and I'm sure that gap is closing ever so slightly lap after lap, and Patrick Cantrell's going to be getting a little bit sweaty in that seat watching that happen. And we got a man here, Moshe Abramov, in that default livery Porsche. Making his way, he's sitting there fourth. This is where one step up from where he qualified. He's kept a pretty clean race. He's got 4X, nothing too gnarly. He's kept a nice clean race for his first showing out here in OMEC sim racing. Looking to hunt his way up. Could still end up with a podium if he plays his cards right. But he's got Nick Terrell behind him in that Porsche. Not Porsche, that black Lamborghini. Definitely going to be hunting him down. Probably looking to hunt down Nate Sides up there in P3. Looks like Cantrell and Sides are going into the pits. Looks like those cars behind were just a couple early pit stops. Must not have been very good at saving fuel. We got Cantrell coming into the pits. Behind him, Nate Sides, Moshe Abramov, Bob Lindell. Langenberg and Terrell staying out. I'm betting Langenberg is definitely probably saving some fuel up there. I mean, he's got plenty of time to do it. We'll see if Patrick takes tires. Does not look like it. He's going to be going the next one without tires. Nate Sides looks like he missed his pit stop a little bit. Had to back up. That's going to cost him some time. But not taking tires. Moshe pulls him behind him. Also not taking tires. And then we have Bob Lindell bringing up the rear. also not taking tires. The 4 Porsches in, no one takes tires. We'll see if Patrick Cantrell can skip ahead of Nate Sides from that mistake he had. And he does, jumps him in the pits. That's what happens. Missed his pit, had to back up a little bit. And that looking... It's gotta give Patrick Cantrell the jump. Moshi right behind him. Bob following out behind him. We got Pierce Sunderup coming into the pits again. Not sure what's happening there. Derek Forte in the pits, still in the race. You'll see in that second column there, I believe, yeah, it is the pit time. Slowest pit stop so far, 22.8 seconds. That was Derek Forte. Nate Sides, actually, take that back. Nate Sides was a 23.3 second pit stop because he had to, you know, pull too forward, had to reverse a little bit. We'll see if the stewards are going to take a look at that later. Cole Moose, the 19.4 second pit stop. That's pretty quick. John Kelly managed a 13 second pit stop somehow. Must not have needed too much fuel. And Landon Orr with a 6.6 second pit stop, but I think that's because he had to race. That was from his crash earlier, so he's probably still holding out for a safety car. Hoping to get a free pit stop out of that. Hoping to get back in the race because he's sitting in P3 right now, but he still has to pit and drop back down the order. Tyler Langenberg finally coming in for a pit stop. And Nick Terrell at the same time. We'll see if any of them are taking tires. Nick Terrell not taking tires. Does not look like Tyler Langenberg took tires. He is back out on the track. And still holding his first place position. Yeah, Cole Moose looking behind him in second place. Yeah, looks like the pit stop shuffled up the order a little bit, but we got Tyler Langenberg still in first place, only 6 seconds behind Mr. Cole Moose now. Cole Moose back up to second after his accident. I'm not sure if he is on a different pitch strategy or not. I might have missed something, but he's back in 6th place, 6 seconds behind. And another 6 seconds behind him is Patrick Cantrell coming up through his blind corner here. He's still happy. Sitting there in P3, looking to have a good finish. Behind him, P4, Nate Sides. He was less than 3 seconds behind Patrick Cantrell when he went to the pits, but again, had that mistake where he pulled a little too far forward, and that's going to put him at a bit of a disadvantage there, so he's got some more ground to make up than he already did. Behind him, sitting at P5, Moshe Abramov in that Porsche. 4 seconds behind Nate Sides. Still running a fairly clean race, 4X. Behind him, Nick Terrell. A little spread out now. 6 seconds behind him. Nick Terrell in that black Lamborghini. 3 incidents. 23.7 second pit stop. Also pretty slow pit stop for him, even though he didn't take tires. P7 behind him, Bob Lindell. In that maroon Omek Porsche. Going through the kink. Up 3 spots from qualifying. Behind him, Devin Adams in P8. Looked like he almost crashed there. I checked my screen over here to the right side to see if there's anything fishy going on, but it doesn't look like it. He's still got a clean car from that fast repair. He's looking to just keep his head down and make those tires last. If you would like to remind you all that he pitted, and he's going to make those tires last 80 minutes, so he's going to be sweating in that car, trying to limp it along. And that'll be pretty interesting if we get a safety car later this race. Landon Orr, the man who is up front, the star of the show, still back here in 9th place. Now, granted, he did have a little Oh, he did take another pit stop. I was going to say, he only had a 6-second pit stop, but it looks like 20 seconds there now. So he did take his full pit stop. The safety car did not quite work out like he wanted it to work out, and he is sitting there in 9th place. Still top 10, but he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to make his way back up to that full position. Still could happen with a safety car. Things get bunched up. You can start making some moves. The race is not over for him yet. Behind him, Derek Forte. Still in the race after that crash, coming through turn 1, putting it into the wall. But he went and took that fast repair. He took his pits, and he's back in the race. We're only 34 minutes in. We have 55 minutes of racing still ahead of us tonight, folks. So he has plenty of time to get his head down and put in some quick laps, put in some safe, consistent laps, and try to get there. Try to make something happen. Behind him, John Kelly and then Ninja Botanicals Porsche. Still having a fairly clean race, but besides that incident earlier on, still holding it at 4X. It's kind of a shame. That was really his only incident. Otherwise, he's keeping it nice and clean out there. Hopefully he can make up some positions and take it home. Pierce Sunderup did fall behind because he had that one seemingly unnecessary pit stop, unless he got some kind of penalty I'm not aware of. Maybe speeding in the pits or something when he went in to get his fast repair. But unfortunately, with that extra pit stop, he is 45 seconds behind the lead. If there's anyone who desperately needs a safety car tonight, it's this guy. He's still not a lap behind, so that would put him right back in the race. And then Richard Ellinger, of course, out of the race. Looks like Derek Forte had a little off track. Just put it in the gravel there at Canada Corner. It's real easy to do. That's a real tricky corner. Looks like Pierce Sunderup went off the track when we were just saying all he needs to do is keep it clean. Ooh, gets it slowed down and comes to a stop, and I think that is him giving up for the night. Unfortunately, you hate to see it. Yeah, looks like that's him out. You know, sometimes you just get frustrated and you can't stick it out through the race, but unfortunate. Sometimes that's how it goes. He still did have the safety car. I don't know if he knew about it, but he had the safety car that would have got him back in the race, back in contention. He still had a clean car. He was only at 8X. He was still in it for a safety bonus, but unfortunately, he is out of the race. So that's 2 people dropped. We're left with a top 11 running of the night. We're sitting here, John Kelly bringing up the rear, just taking his time, taking care of those tires, waiting for that safety car to happen. In front of him, Derek Forte, still in the race, 14 seconds behind P9, Landon Orr. He's taking that BMW around the track. Devin Adams entered pit lane. Wonder why. This is probably his pit. He's probably a little off cycle. And I'm betting he's wishing he could take tires this pit, but he can't. So he's just going to do a little bit of weaving around. Got to put on a show. Got to put on a show for the broadcast. Yep, no tires. He's wishing there's tires, but there's definitely no tires. And Devin Adams, sponsored by Sharp Edge Painting. Sharp Edge Painting and Ken's Bait Shop. I promised him that by this race that I would have his sponsor down there on the bottom left-hand corner, and I could not figure it out because I'm a lazy pile. But if anyone from Sharp Edge Painting or Ken Bait Shop is watching, I promise you I'm getting there. I'm learning, but we're going to get there. But that's Devin Adams, again sponsored by Sharp Edge Painting and Ken's Bait Shop. There was a lot of excitement at the beginning of the race, but tell you what, they're getting a little spread out now, and everyone is just racing really clean. I think everyone is just taking care of those tires as long as they can, because they know it's a long race with one tire, especially that carousel. Ooh, Derek Forte almost loses it through the kink. Just as I'm talking about how it's getting a little boring, he has to go send it through the grass to form me like a rally car. It looks like Nate Sides has finally caught up to Patrick Cantrell. We're going to be looking at a Porsche on Porsche battle. Go to the cockpit view of Nate Sides. We're coming up the straight under the cheese sign. This is the Moraine sweep coming down to turn 5. You're in 6th gear. He's got to the floor. He's going to see if he can make a move on the inside. And he is. He's going to stick his nose in. He's going to get it sent. And he's going to close the door on Patrick on the way out. And he's going to say, I will take 3rd place. Thank you very much. That was a very quick, precise pass done by Nate Sides. Patrick Cantrell behind him, probably going to be taking care of the tires. Again, everyone's not looking to fight too much, but we got Moshe Abramov off the track. Let's take a look and see what happened. Moshe coming to that blind left-hander, just cuts the grass a little bit, but is able to keep it on the track. And that's some good car control. This is on board with Patrick Cantrell behind Nate Sides. Looks like it's still not flat out for that kink. You do have to lift a little bit, unfortunately. Maybe if we were running a little higher downforce setup, we could make that happen. Very late on the brakes, getting it turned in, trying to keep it out of the gravel on Canada corner. Coming up to turn 13. Behind, looks like Abramov got passed, went off the track, got passed by Nick Terrell. Let's see what happened. Coming through the kink, catches the grass. Oh no, it's a little bit of a tank slapper and just rides the rail all the way like he's Tony Hawk Pro Skater, getting those bonus points for that grind. That was beautiful and tragic all at the same time, and that is him back to the pits. Unfortunately, he was running a very clean race. It looks like John Kelly made a pass on Derek Forte. Let's see what happened there. John Kelly looks like he's going to set it on the inside. And that's the carousel coming up towards the kink where he got taken out last time he went through there. But he gets ahead just in time, sends it. And that is a man on a mission. And he's looking to make his way back up to where he came from. He passed Derek Forte for P8. Back here on board Patrick Cantrell, that same corner where Nate Sides passed him just one lap ago. It doesn't look like he's going to be making any ground on him anytime soon. However, those Porsches do look like they're starting to get a little squirrely on those tires. Are we able to see what the track temp is for this track? It's 89 degrees outside and the track temperature is 114. That is a scorching hot track temperature. Those tires are gonna be screaming. You can see there how much he has to let off just to make that corner. You could hear the tires squealing a little bit as he gets on coming through. I would be surprised if once they put on new tires, if this kink wouldn't be flat out. But you can see that Porsche's definitely having some understeer problems for sure. But he's still within a second of Nate Sides. Looking to just keep it here, take care of his tires, and have a clean race, I'm sure. On board Cole Moose going around the final corner in the BMW, which is one of the most underwhelming sounding cars in the game, I think. Big fan of the BMW. I like racing in the game, but man, does it sound boring. Not as cool as the Ford, which sounds pretty cool, I must admit. And drives pretty cool. Still 1X. Still sitting there in first place. He's bumped that interval up from 6 seconds to 9 seconds to Cole Moose behind him. I mean, Cole Moose is just waiting there. He's waiting for one slip up from Tyler Langenberg, which could happen. There is still 45 minutes of racing remaining. Got Nick Terrell and Lamborghini, who is 12 seconds behind Cantrell. Which I would have thought he had been a little closer by now, but again, I think everyone's just kind of taking their time. Everyone's going to be taking care of the tires. Doing the best they can in this 114 degree track temp. And I'm going to leave you again for a few minutes here, folks. Take a quick break. And then I will be back with you to talk you through the action. And we are back. We are on board with Moshe Abramov on the back of John Kelly. Ooh, John Kelly gets loose just a little bit, and Moshe is going to take that. He's going to close the door, and he is going to get ahead of him onto the hurry downs, down to turn 5, leading into the carousel. You saw it here on board. Right through our one comment, and this man right here, Derek Forte. I've been saying Derek Forte like the Kia Forte this entire time, but I was horribly mistaken. This is in fact Derek Forte. I apologize. I am a low IQ man who can't read, but I'm just out here trying my best. Derek Forte, who is coming in for a pit stop. It is 51 minutes. We're going to start seeing some pit stops. We'll see if our man Derek here takes tires or not. If you're going to take tires, this is probably the time to take them. You got about 40 minutes left of the race. We're going to see what he does as he slowly makes his way to his pit box. Everyone is real spread out. I remind you, there is still a safety car coming, so if it just happened to get thrown after this, he would probably be in for a real treat. He takes his tires and his fuel, and he's going to get out there and put down some quick lap times, because I'm sure those tires were completely fried. Looks like Cole Moose is also coming into the pit lane. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he takes any tires. We're also going to keep an eye on the pit stop time there, see who has the longest one. Here's Cole Moose slowly making his way up to his pit stall. I gotta say, it's a good looking livery on that BMW. I really like the kind of dark green, dark blue, black stuff he's got going on there. Looks slick. Coming into his pit stall, is that car gonna go up on the jacks? It is gonna go up on the jacks. I think this is the pit stop where we are gonna see everyone take tires. So that is Cole Moose in for tires. Derek had a 23-second pit stop. Let's see if Cole Moose's pit crew can beat that and get faster than 23 seconds, because I think 23 seconds is a little bit on the slow side. Maybe not with tires. He's down waiting for the fuel. He is out of there in 22.2 seconds. So yeah, 0.8 seconds faster. Looking pretty good. He needs to give his pit crew a raise. Looking at our race leader here, Tyler Langenberg. We'll see if he comes in for fuel. I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to be a few more pits. We got Derek Forte off the track. Maybe those cold tires weren't quite warmed up enough for him. Coming around that blind left-hander, and looks like he just understeers into the gravel a little bit with Bob Lindell, or excuse me, Patrick Cantrell behind him. But keeps it out of the wall, nothing too serious. Just gotta get it back on the track and keep his head down. He'll be up there in no time. Looks like John Kelly is 0.3 seconds off the back of Abramov. Abramov made that pass, but John Kelly is not going to let him have it that easily. He is all on the back bumper. Let's go on board with John Kelly as we come down this back straight, as he's all over the bumper of that Porsche, trying to get a draft, hoping to stick his nose in it, coming into turn 1. He is gaining, looks like he might do it, but Abramov takes the defensive line, leading John Kelly on the outside. Might be trying for the switcheroo, but just doesn't have the speed to carry through the corner. He's going to come down to turn 2. Maybe try to make a move. Maybe try to get a good exit on turn 2 and really carry the speed down this turn 3, the Moraine sweep here, under the cheese sign. But honestly, it looks like that he lost that momentum that he had. He was super close. Gets in the dirt a little bit there. It's looking a little sketchy. Maybe tries to poke his nose on the inside, try to sell a dummy, but Moshe is not having it. Takes that line perfectly. Goes around that corner, fully utilizing that track exit, and he just keeps him behind. Moshe has the nerves of steel. It's pretty hard when you're driving the car. If we go to Moshe, you can see in that camera, even though John Kelly's a little ways behind there, it's just always there reminding you. And you can see the car like that while you're driving. You can see that car behind you. And sometimes it's best just to sit behind someone and just wait till they make a mistake, and you can easily nab that up for a pass, just like Moshe did to our man John Kelly here not that long ago. The track is still pretty spread out. Looks like we got Orr 1.5 seconds behind Bob Lindell. He's finally picking his way up through the field. Remember, this is our pole sitter, not pole sitter, because Tyler Langenberg stole that away from him right there at the last second. But this is P2, former pole sitter, Olmec Sim Racing team member Landon Orr on the Ferrari, hunting down his teammate Bob Lindell in that Olmec Porsche. Landon Orr is currently down 4 places from qualifying, and Bob Lindell is up 5. It looks like he's slowly made his way through. Looks like Bob Lindell, they both kind of messed up that carousel a little bit. It's hard. You're starting to see people's tires get a little weak by now. That hour time length is about, whew, man, I can't even talk that good because I'm just seeing him about to lose it. That Ferrari looks like it is on the edge. From my experience, you know, Ferrari not the best on tires, so I think Landon's driving that Ferrari on the edge. He's trying to pick his way back up to the field, and he is trying to make something out of this. He was P2. He had P1 on the cusp of his fingers, and he just let it all slip away with that silly accident. You know, they're getting the grass on the turn 2, but it looks like he is catching up to Bob Lindell in that Porsche in no time. We got a little action. Looks like Nick Terrell passed Patrick Cantrell. Oh, that's because Patrick Cantrell entered the pits along with Nate Sides. We can take a look at that, but I don't want to go away from the action of Landon Orr all in the back of bumper of Bob Lindell in this Porsche. He's looking to make a pass. I have a feeling both of them are going to pit here pretty soon, although, oops, that's not the camera you want. Landon Orr might be on a different pit strategy because he did crash earlier on. Bob did take tires, so he's got new tires. I don't think Landon's taking tires yet. I think Landon's still on the original tires, so he's probably getting a little sketchy. But he's sitting there in the draft of Bob. I think he's probably sitting there deciding whether he wants to make a move or he wants to just sit in this draft, save tires, save fuel. But Bob's getting a little loose on the exit. And you can see Landon biding his time, looking for the right time to make a pass. Every corner exit you go through, Bob gets a little loose. Landon makes up some time. I don't think it's going to be much longer before we see this Ferrari send it up the inside of this Porsche. Or, you know, send it around the outside on a good corner exit. We're coming through the carousel here. You're going to see that Ferrari really struggling on the tires as we go through. And you can see that's where the Porsche really pulls away. The Ferrari just does not have the tires to get through that carousel good at all. The gap is all the way up to almost a full second going through the kink. I don't think Landon has the tires to actually make a pass happen. But meanwhile, we got Moose within half a second of Sides. Let's see, this looks like Sides left the pits just as Cole Moose got around him. Cole Moose coming down the straight there. Nate Sides took the outside, tried to block him off, but I think Cole Moose ended up, he has not got around him. He has not got around him yet, but he's there. And looks like Landon Orr and Bob Lindell are entering the pit lane. Let's take a look. Let's see who takes tires and who doesn't. If I was right, I think Bob's taking tires, and I think Landon hasn't. But we're going to find that out for sure as they both slowly make their way up to the pit stalls there. The pit crew's waiting for them, possibly with a fresh set of tires, possibly not. And there goes Bob Lindell to a stop. Oh, he did not taking tires. He is now taking tires for the first time in the race, and Landon Orr, oh, misses his pit stop a lot. Also taking tires. So you're going to have 2 cars on fresh tires, but that overshoot is going to cost Landon Orr at least a few seconds. That was pretty painful to watch. We're going to see Bob Lindell's car's off the jacks. His feeling's done. He's coming down the pit lane. And he is going to get around Landon by seconds. That was a very costly mistake by Landon Orr. That had him, he was half second behind Bob. Now he's 2.1 seconds behind Bob. That was pretty costly. It looks like if we look at Cole Moose, he's still right on the bumper and Nate's Sides. Only 0.3 seconds. If I can go back to the live view of the correct camera like not an idiot, There we go. That's Cole Moose and the BMW right all over the bumper of Nate's sides in that Olmec Racing Team Rahal Porsche. I don't think Moose is pitted yet. Let me take a look. It looks like Cole Moose left the pit lane at 56 minutes. So yeah, he pitted early, so they're on the same strategy. So Cole Moose is looking to make a pass on Nate's sides here. Did Cole Moose go off the track? It says we're live. Did I miss this? Ooh, just a little bit of the kink, sending it a little wide. I like it. I like the commitment. He was probably flat out going through there, and I'm okay with that. He's still kind of sticking to his bumper, but he's went from 0.3 down to kind of 0.5, you know, down to 0.4 in the braking. He kind of tries to show his nose a little bit, sell the dummy, but Nate's not buying it. Nate's an experienced driver. He knows what's what, and he's just going to send that Porsche around that turn one just like he's supposed to. And it looks like Nick Terrell's in the pits. I think we missed it. Did Nick Terrell take tires? Let's see. Also missed his pit stop. Everyone is missing their pit box tonight. It has to back up. That's crazy. Fresh set of tires on that Lamborghini. Sitting in P5 has made his way up 8 spots from his gridding position. Doing good. Over back to our race leader, Tyler Langenberg. 12-second interval to Nate's sides. Every time I go to Tyler Langenberg, there's always a different person in P2. And now instead of Cole Moose, it is Nate's sides, who you'll remember at the beginning was spun off track, basically put in last place. And this goes to show you, with just a little bit of determination and just some clean driving, although I don't know how clean, he's got 11 X's, but he's made his way back up to P2. And I think he's going to be pretty happy with that. It looks like we had an off track with Devin Adams. Let's see what happened. Well, it looks like coming into Canada corner just did not get on the brakes enough, but amazingly it stopped before the tires. The new gravel update and grass update with iRacing is pretty crazy, because before that update, he would have been straight in the wall. That car would have been dead. It's crazy to see. We are an hour 4 into the race. Landon Orr still 0.9 seconds behind. Abramev looks like got around Kelly. Did I miss that pass? Let me see if I can find it. Here's this pass on Moshe Abramev made on John Kelly for P10. This is a 53 minutes. Did we see this? I think we did see this. I'm a terrible broadcaster. I'm so sorry. I can't remember if we saw that or not. I don't think we did. Let's take a look one more time in case we didn't. Beautiful. Moshe Abramev passes Devin Adams for P8. That's because Devin Adams went off in Canada. Oh no, this was before this is the next lap after. Oh, what a beautiful pass. Takes it on the inside. Beautifully gets around Devin Adams at Canada corner. Let's see this. See if we can see this from the cockpit view. Hold on. You can't see much, but he just trusts that Devin Adams is going to leave him the room. But he leaves Devin Adams plenty of room. Sees him in the rearview mirror there. Shuts the door, and that's all she wrote. That is Moshe Abramev passing Devin Adams for P8. Beautiful pass. And then looks like John Kelly did get around Devin Adams, but that's because Devin Adams went into the pits. And he's sitting there thinking, oh, there he is taking tires. This is interesting. Because I didn't think Devin Adams was going to be able to take tires. I wonder if he took one set of tires. If he just took some fronts. And then took rears later on. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, folks. We might have to get him in on an interview at the end of this race to see what happened there. Because that kind of seems like some shenanigans. We're going to talk to him and get the story on what happened there. But here we got Nate Side still in P2. Cole Moose wasn't able to keep that gap. That's 3.1 seconds. It does look like Landon Orr has closed up on Bob Lindell again. This is now a Ferrari and a Porsche with brand new tires. They're coming up the main straight. Let's go on board with Landon Orr and let's see if he can make a pass on Bob Lindell on this straight. He's trying to tuck in for that draft. We'll see if he can make any room into fifth gear. He's gaining on the Porsche 3 seconds, 2.26 seconds, 0.22 seconds, 0.2. He gained a whole tenth. Biding his time. He's going to try to get a good exit. We're going to go down to turn 2. We'll see if he makes a good exit and get a good run going through the Moraine sweep under the cheese sign. Looks like they both had kind of a weird line through there, but we'll see if Landon can get the draft, and Landon definitely has the draft. He has the run on Bob Lindell. We'll see if he's going to make a move. Coming down here, turn 5, this left-hander. He's putting his car on the inside. He's going to send it. Bob Lindell's not quite letting him have it. Landon's going to keep the inside line. He's still on the inside. They're neck and neck coming up. Oh, he gets around him. Bob Lindell, I think, lets him through. That Ferrari's just got the legs nipping the gravel a little bit there. Going around through the hurry downs, coming into turn 7. Right? I say, asking the audience who can't answer me back, that was turn 8, and this is turn 9 through the carousel. That was a beautiful pass. It looks like Landon Orr is starting to run away with it, and he's got 11 seconds to hunt down Nick Tiro. And there's the timer, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like there is a moose on the track on the carousel. It is deemed unsafe, and there is the yellow flag for the drivers. This is going to be a full course yellow. All the cars are going to go around this lap. And then we are going to see the safety car come out. And we're all going to pace around for a lap, and then the pits will be open for anyone who does need to take a pit stop. Tyler Ladenburg with little connection problems. Hopefully he did not just disconnect right here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Tyler Ladenburg, come back. Oh, man, my heart stopped there for a second. That was like a, what, 5-10 seconds of disconnected internet? I don't know. Tyler Langenberg's internet's always blinking. I don't know if he's got just some guy holding the cable outside his house, or he steals the Wi-Fi from his neighbors. I don't know. Ford GT3 driver does seem like the kind of guy who would steal Wi-Fi from his neighbors. Just saying. I wouldn't put it past him. It does make sense. Cars are going to pace through here. That sounded like a car in the gravel. Devin Adams, what are you doing, bud? Take a look. Just driving off the track. Oh. All I can say is he's lucky the gravel doesn't suck now. It looks like Derek Fautre did pit, and if I remember correctly, the first lap, I think the pits are closed. So he might have a penalty for this. It does look like he's just driving on through. And there's the pace car in front of him. Unfortunately, I think that's going to cost him any any places he would have gained. That's going to be rough for him. Tyler Langenberg. Looks like Tyler Langenberg has lapped Devin Adams, Derek Fautre. They are behind the lead lap. But here we are lining up behind the pace car. We got 3 laps of the pace car here at Road America. You're looking at about 5-10 minute break. So if you need to get up, go pee, grab a beverage, grab a snack, now is your time. I am going to take a quick break, and I'm going to leave you here with the action. I guess it's not really action. I'm going to leave you here with a nice view of the safety car and some cars following the safety car. This is going to get, but don't go anywhere. This is going to get everyone bunched up. We're going to get a lot of good racing here for the last 29 minutes of Road America. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Lots of good racing to come. And that's the safety car in. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be back to a green flag here, crossing the line. We're on board with Tyler Landenberg. Let's go to do the TV cockpit, and that is a green flag racing. There he's waving the green flag. Everyone's coming down to turn 1. There is less than 10 minutes left in this race. There's 8 minutes left in this race. And we're here as they all go around turn 1. Tyler Landenberg keeps the lead, followed closely by Nate Sides. Looks like Nick Tyrrell up to 3rd. And Patrick Cantrell in the OMAC Porsche. Coming around turn 1, Nate Sides getting wide, clipping the gravel. Everyone clipping the gravel, but Nate Sides is right on the bumper of Tyler Landenberg. Right on his back end, coming through the Moraine sweep, looking like he might make a move, coming into turn 5. There he is. He goes on the inside. Tyler Landenberg squeezes him, but he keeps it there. He sends it up the inside, and that is a pass done by Nate Sides. Pass Tyler Landenberg for first place. What an insane pass. Tyler Landenberg is not going to be happy about that one. He ran this whole race with a comfortable first place, and there it is, the safety car to put a monkey wrench into things. So there's Nate Sides first place, Tyler Landenberg P2, and Nick Terrell in P3, up 10 spots from qualifying. Behind him we got Patrick Cantrell in the OMAC Porsche with his teammate Landon Orr in that Ferrari, who is going to be centered on the inside through the carousel. That's going to make Patrick Cantrell hear that spotter, put him on edge. They're going to go too wide. Are they going to take it too wide through the kink? Well, looks like Patrick Cantrell might have backed out of it a little bit there, which was a smart decision. He's a safe driver. He knows what to do. He's not going to take it too wide through that kink. That's going to put him back in 5th place, but Landon Orr is back up into 4th. He's only 2nd behind Nick Terrell. He's looking to make his way back for a podium. We got everybody passing everybody. We got Cole Moose passing Bob Lindell for P6. 3 wide into turn 1. Bob Lindell gets a little turn there, but keeps it straight. That was crazy. Hold on. Let's take a look at that one more time. Slow motion. 3 wide and 2 wide behind him coming into turn 2. Cole Moose just gets a little bit in the back end of Bob Lindell, but gets on the brakes, gets out of it. We got Moshe Abramov coming up behind him. Has to take it on the grass to avoid having an accident, and that just gets him on the inside line, and that's going to get him a pass on Cole Moose. But Bob Lindell comes out of that not in the walls, which is amazing. And that's Derek Fauché right behind him. This is his chance. This is the safety car trying to make a move, although it looks like him and Donovan Adams are a lap down, but that was beautiful. We got passes everywhere. We got Derek Fauché off the track. Oh no, Derek Fauché and John Kelly getting into each other on the last corner, which is going to leave them to have a drag race up the straight finish line. But it looks like Derek Fauché came out of that a little bit ahead. Looks like John Kelly's just getting into all the incidents this race. With everyone getting in the back door of him, I don't think he's going to be that happy about that. But we got Tyler Landenberg with a pass on Nate Sides for P1. Coming up the main straight into turn 1, Nate Sides has the run on the inside, and he is going to get it done. He's going to be just late enough on the brakes. Nate Sides thinks about closing the door, but Tyler Landenberg is right there in front of him. Coming down into P2, can he keep the lead? He can. He keeps it in front, and that Ford gets to stretch his legs, and we're going to see what's going to happen for the last 4 minutes of this race. There's action everywhere. I just can't keep up with it. Nate Sides still all over the back of Tyler Landenberg. He's not going to let that position go that easily. They're coming down this big straight, coming into Canna Corner. He's right on the bumper, looking for a good exit. That Porsche's got that engine over those rear wheels. It's got all the traction. It's going to get the exit. Coming through turn 13, this blind left-hand corner, lining up for the all-so-crucial final corner of the turn 14, where Nate Sides is going to try to get a good exit. He's coming around. He really uses all of that track, cuts through the dirt there, and he is on the bumper, and he's going to try to make the draft. And you got Landon Orr behind Nick Terrell. He's got the draft. He's going to go around the outside of Nick Terrell. Can Nick Terrell keep it on turn 1? Does he got enough speed? Landon Orr is just going to inch ahead of him. Behind him, you got Patrick Cantrell. Orr and Terrell are bumping doors coming down to turn 1. Too wide. Nick Terrell gets later on the brakes and sweeps just in front of Landon Orr on turn 1. Coming down to turn 2, but that let Patrick Cantrell get just in front of Landon Orr, and he gets around him turn 2. Patrick Cantrell is now P3 behind Nick Terrell. Got the pass made in P2. What exciting racing. They're coming down the Moraine sweep Into turn 5, Landon Orr is gonna be upset. He's tucking in the draft behind Patrick Cantrell. He is gonna try to make a pass in turn 5. He's showing his nose. He's gonna try to go late on the brakes. They're side by side. Nick Terrell gives him plenty of room. Patrick Cantrell tries to close the door, but pit maneuvers himself, and Landon Orr is all over that. But in the midst of all of that chaos, Cole Moose snags P4. And Patrick Cantrell is not going to be happy about that one. He closed the door like Nate Sides wasn't even there. Nate Sides wasn't having it. And that is a pit maneuver. Let's take a look at that again. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. At this point, Landon Orr already side by side. He's made the decision. He's going to pass him, although not really side by side. Now that we look at it from the chase cam, coming up the 2 board, Patrick Cantrell on the brakes late, but here comes Landon Orr sending it up the inside. He is already there. You got Nick Terrell on the outside, giving him plenty of room. At this point, they're already side by side, and Patrick Cantrell kind of turns in like Landon Orr is not even there, and he gets spun. Unfortunately, that's going to cost Landon Orr a couple places, but he gets out of that with no damage, and Patrick Cantrell all the way back into P9. Heartbreaking for Patrick Cantrell, who had spent this entire race working his way up into the upper echelons and now down into P9, last on the lead lap. But Tyler Langenberg, this is the white flag. This is the last lap. Tyler Langenberg is still in P1. We're going to go on board with Nate Sides, and we're going to see if he can get a move done on this final lap. Nate Sides is going to be sweating in his seat. He's got fresh tires. He's got the right amount of fuel. He's going to be looking for a good exit out of turn 2 here. Does the Porsche have the legs to keep up with the Ford down the straight underneath the cheese sign? It's not really looking like it. It's looking like it's pulling away. Yeah, he's not even in the draft. He is losing time. But who's not losing time is Orr on the back of Moose. Orr is right on the back of Moose. He is going to be looking to make a time. Moose kind of picked up that freebie, but he's there. He's got it. Ooh, Terrell compromised this corner. Orr was trying to make a move, but just gets on the grass, trying to avoid him. Doesn't want to get in another wreck. He's already at 8x. If he gets another X, he's losing that bonus point. Coming here through this fast right-hand kink, it looks like he's got the run on Moose. Is he going to try to show his nose on the inside here? This is the last lap. This is where it's all for. Late on the brakes, dives on the inside, but Cole Moose closes the door, not letting him have it, and that gives a poor corner exit for Landon Orr. Ooh, in the grass a little bit. Looks like he is not happy with that. Beautiful. Let's see if he's got the run. He's coming here through the kink. He's only 0.4 seconds behind. Ooh, he's getting the gravel there. That's his X. That's 9X. He's not getting the safety bonus. It seems like he's going to go for it now. They're coming up to Canada corner. This is the final lap. He's on the brakes hard. Cole Moose takes a defensive line, but Landon Orr has the run. He's looking into the inside, looking to the outside, looking like he's going to try to make it close, but no, Cole Moose shuts the door again. And they're coming up. Here's the all-important turn 14. Is he going to get a good run to get it across the line? Late on the brakes. Cole Moose is early on the brakes. He's got a good run. He's right on the bumper. This is it. This is a drag race across the finish line for 4th place. Landon Orr and Cole Moose neck and neck across the line, and a little bit of door banging. Oh my God, that was so close. 0.009 seconds. What a finish. Landon Orr and Cole Moose. That wasn't for 1st and 2nd. That was just 4th and 5th. But holy crap, what a finish. Beautiful racing. A little bit of banging there at the end. Amazing, amazing, amazing racing. The safety car at the end got everyone bunched up. What a crazy race. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the checkered flag. And let's see the results. Maybe. We gotta wait for everyone to finish the line. It was really anticlimactic. That was really exciting there to the end, and I'm like, let's see the results. And then nothing pops up on the screen because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying my best. But we got 1st place. It's your man Tyler Langenberg in the Ford. I didn't think he was going to pull it off. I thought Nate Sides was going to steal first place from him, but he made it work in the end. Nate Sides, P2. Nick Terrell, P3 in the Lamborghini. Up 10 spots from his finishing position. Cole Moose in that BMW. Newcomer out here. He ended up 4th place. That's a pretty good finishing position for his first time here in the league. Omac Sim Racing driver Landon Orr in P5. We got another newcomer, Moshe Abramev, finishing 6th place in that Porsche after spending a lot of time in the race. Running around the back, he was able to get a good midfield finishing position. Hopefully we see more performances from him throughout the season. I think that he's looking pretty good. We can see some good surprises from Moshe Abramev. Bob Lindell sitting there in 7th. Probably not the finish he was hoping for, but looking pretty good. John Kelly finishing higher than usual. He's in P8. Hopefully he can get some good points from that, and hopefully this was a good race for him. And then in P9, we have Patrick Cantrell. Not one of his best finishes, but what can you say? He kept it clean, got pit maneuvered at the end. Pretty unfortunate. Derek Fautre, I almost said Forte, but it's not. It's Derek Fautre. His first time showing up at our league, he was finished there in 10th, which is 2 places ahead of where he qualified. Hopefully he had a good time. Hopefully we will be able to get to see more of him throughout the season. And then we got Devin Adams. P11 was looking very promising for him. It looks like he's the last place still running, so we will get an interview with Devin Adams and see what's going on. Then we got Pierce Sunderup and Richard Ellinger finishing up at last with some DNFs. Hopefully they stick around for the season and we get to see some more good racing from them because they were pretty good. And now let me pull in some drivers for some driver interviews. Bear with me for just one moment. And it looks like Devin Adams was last place, but here he is. Let me get to where I need to get. These interviews are coming up, I promise. Just hold on. We'll be back in just one moment with the driver interviews, I promise. Hold on.
Oh, that shit made me.
And here's Devin Adams, last place. Oh, he's gone. No Devin Adams. Let's bring someone else who's in the waiting room. Derek Fautre. You are in the waiting room. You weren't last place, but Devin Adams left me. So how was that race tonight?
I was in last basically the entire race, so I figured I should hop in. It was good. It was really fun. This was my first endurance race that you guys have put on, so that's really awesome. I look forward to the next one. It was a lot of fun. I didn't crash. I didn't wreck out too early, so that's awesome. I didn't wreck out at all. It was a lot of fun. I loved it.
Did you pull in the pits when the pit lanes were closed there in the safety car? Is that what happened?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
I thank God that it let me through and I didn't have to run through again. So exactly. I may have got it in the back, but whatever. I was already lapped. Didn't matter.
Yeah, well, that was good. I'm happy you showed up and raced with us tonight. That was a pretty good race. And
awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for putting this on, too. This is awesome.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully we see you for more.
You will. All right. Thank you so much, Marcus.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later. And that was Derek Fautre. Here's Devin Adams. We'll see if he's going to leave me again this time. Devin Adams, are you going to stay in the booth?
Yes, I am this time.
All right, last place. How you feeling?
It is not where I want to be. I practiced a little bit more than I usually do, but that early crash really killed it.
That was a little disappointing. Now, did you take tires twice?
Yes, I did.
Did you take all 4 tires twice?
Negative.
Oh, so what'd you do on your first stop there?
I messed up. What's it called? I took the fronts. That was a very big mistake. I should have taken the backs. And then the second one, I took the backs.
Interesting. So you can still do staggered tire strategy.
Yes, you can.
good
But
to
my
know.
original goal was take the fronts and then take the fronts again, but they don't let you do that.
Oh, yep.
I don't like it when you do that.
Yep. Well, that's how it's gonna be from now on. So you better get used to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking
That was the plan.
you're gonna have to make those tires last 80 minutes, but I suppose you had to make those front tires last 80 minutes. Do you
Yeah,
know-
it was just the fronts.
Do you know what they were at the end? What percentage?
0. I was black flagged.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was not good.
Well, that'll do it. All right. Well,
I had tires that would have beat Derek.
hopefully next race I'm interviewing you because you're P1 or P2. So.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, we will talk to you next race.
Awesome.
That was our last place driver, Devin Adams. So yeah, it looks like you can do a staggered tire strategy there. But let's go ahead and talk to our P2 driver, Nate Sides.
What's up?
That start after the safety car was crazy. I thought you were gonna be able to hold P1. How'd you feel?
Man, I was trying. He disappeared down the front straight. I don't know where he went. He got to the inside of me.
That Ford has the legs when you can actually drive it.
Yeah, he does. It has a lot of straightaway speed.
I was surprised to see you made your way all the way back up after that first accident.
Yeah, I was hustling, trying. I wore my left front tire out pretty good there.
Yeah, I was thinking that left front tire was going to be screaming for everyone during this race. It looks like Devin Adams, he took the 2 fronts on his first pit stop and then took the 2 rears on the next pit stop, but he got black flagged at the end because he was down to 0.
Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah, it was a pretty hot track. Well, that was a good race. That was a crazy finish at the end there. It was
Yeah,
good to
probably
see
my my most fun race so far this season. So it was
Yeah.
a good run. I was trying like crazy to catch Tyler, but I just couldn't get there.
you. Yeah, that was a good performance. It was fun to see you make your way all the way up to that field. Well, thanks for being on the booth. Hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you.
That was our P2, and now let's talk to our P1, Tyler Langenberg. Tyler, how did you feel about that race?
The first bit was pretty boring with no one really to race, and then nothing really happening, and then all the action just happened to happen at the end with that yellow. So, it was a pretty good race, I'll say myself.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I was making some comparisons there. It was kind of like Max Verstappen just driving away from everyone. But that was a pretty good battle there with Nate Sides at the end.
Yeah, it was really tight. I knew I had the speed in the car. Not to rub salt in the wound, but I was fuel saving for those first 2 stints and leaving them, but not to rub salt in the wound, like I said. But
I think that Ford has the legs.
well,
That's pretty
I'll
crazy.
take it.
I was wondering
I'll
if
take
you were fuel saving because you were, I mean, you pitted a lap or 2 after everyone else.
Yeah, I think I need to put a Ford EcoBoost logo on this car.
Yeah,
Even though I don't think EcoBoost was a thing when this car came out, but
I think so. That's pretty
well,
crazy.
I'll have to research that and see if I can put EcoBoost on the car.
Yeah, right. Well, he made up for last week's race, or I guess I didn't broadcast last week, the week before that. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us here in the booth. Hopefully, we'll talk to you next week.
Yep, we'll see you.
All right, see ya. And we just have one more interview. I got to bring Landon Orr and Cole Moose into the booth. You two had me very excited on the very last lap, that drag race towards the very end. What were you guys thinking during that?
Oh man, yeah, that was. I knew I was catching Cole in there, and I thought, okay, I pushed a little bit too hard coming out of the carousel, lost some time. Thought I could take him on the last stretch, and I may have, but I rubbed up against him a little bit and lost it. But that was just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was that door bang in there towards the end. I thought you guys were gonna like crash at the end, but Yeah.
Yeah,
that
I was thinking the same thing. It was kind of crazy as we were going into that last lap there, especially with that full course caution there at the end. I was trying to crunch some numbers as that caution was flying, about to take a green lap pit for like 2 gallons of fuel to make it to the end. Ended up pulling it anyway under caution, and I certainly was not expecting Landon and I to wind up, what was it, a hundredth of a second apart at the finish, and
Yeah,
an average lap time across the
0.009.
race. Finishing exactly the same average lap time down to the thousandth there at the end. It was a great race.
Yeah, that
It's a
was
lot of fun.
amazing. That was pretty exciting. That was a well-timed safety car. Got everyone bunched back up. So I just wanted to get your guys' final thoughts on that last lap, and that was fun.
That was great.
That was a
Thanks,
good,
ton, Marcus.
Yeah, that was a good outing by you, Cole. Hopefully we'll see you back for some next races. And
Yeah, for sure. I was a little worried about the format as I started to run some practice laps with the BMW. That setup makes the thing drive like a boat around Road America, but it is a fun car to drive and a fun track. So we'll be back next week.
definitely awesome. All right, well, hopefully we'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks.
Have a good.
All right. Since I didn't make it into the interview booth today, I am ambushing again. This is Bob Lindell, the number 77 Porsche. Of course, I have to make it into special thanks to Marcus for doing our broadcasts, and special thanks to Patrick Cantrell for all the paints. So thanks, Olmec. Great race, and we'll see you next week.
Definitely. And that was not on purpose. I just forgot I wasn't on Discord. So I was sitting there talking the whole time. I was mentally prepared for you to pop in, and then you never did. I was confused.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks a lot, everybody. It was a pretty exciting race. Love Road America, and big grid today. So hoping to see everybody come back next week and join us for some sprints.
Yeah, hopefully all those newcomers show back up. And that's about it. That is round 6. Osborne Motors Endurance Racing, Road America. Next week is the 2 sprints back-to-back doubleheader, so that will be exciting. Then hopefully you will join us all for that. But I'm going to leave you with that. This is your host signing off, fake racing driver Marcus Osborne, and we will talk to you all next week.